Hey there, everybody, this is Ray Carsillo, reviews and previews editor for Electronic Gaming Monthly, and today we are taking a look at South Park, The Fractured Butthole, of course, coming October 17th from Ubisoft for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. And before we get started, we have to, of course, create our new kid. Now, of course, this game takes place immediately after the Xbox 360 PS3 game, The Stick of Truth. And basically, your new kid was king. You succeeded. You saved South Park. If you've all remember the last game. But now, Cartman has decided that he is going to basically dress up like the Coon, gather Coon and friends, and be like, hey guys, we're not playing fantasy games anymore, we're playing superheroes. But first, again, you have to create your character, and you can change all different colors, you know, different color hair, all different kinds of style of haircuts. You can add glasses, you can change your gloves, your shirt, the whole 9 yards. Thing is, honestly, you could always go back to this, but very quickly, you're going to end up changing into your superhero costume. So this customization, it's actually kind of funny because it's only a short period of time that you actually spend in this uniform that I'm making now. Of course, I gave my guy glasses because I wear glasses, and I tried to make him look as much as I think I would look in the South Park universe. Not the first time I think any of us have ever tried that. There's a lot of great simulators out there where you can do the same thing. You can create your own South Park character. But this, you know, you can rotate your character. You can take a look at your cape. You can change the colors. And in the end, I kind of went for a very basic look because this was only a demo. This was only a preview. Ended up playing total about actually almost the first 3 hours of the game. But we can only show you bits and pieces because, well, Ubisoft is trying to prevent too many of the jokes from being spoiled. And that's kind of understandable because it is one of those games where, obviously, South Park, it's very comedy-driven. It's very driven by the writing. So we will get to show you a few new things. We will see some things that you've probably already seen out there. You get to, like, your origin story where you get your first superhero power. But you will get a chance to choose over the course of the game. You'll get to dual, and I even believe triple class wield, where you'll get up to 10... I know for sure you get the dual class, but you get 10 different power sets. You only start off with 3 though. You choose between Speedster, Brutalist, which is kind of like the Thing, and oh, this was hysterical, by the way. Choose your difficulty. Kind of as always, South Park made very smart. The darker skin you have, the harder the game will be, just like it is in America, just like it is in the real world, and that's how it is. So after we chose our character, I went for I guess, a semi-easy choice. I guess not very easy, but an easy choice. We cut to Coon and Friends. Now, a reason why I'm talking over a lot of the cutscenes, I know folks really don't like it when I do that, is because there's a lot of swearing. We even actually tried to cut out as many of the swears as possible, just because we're not sure. Well, I know for a fact that the folks who are in charge of EGM and who are above me really don't like it. So I tried to do the best I could so that you guys could at least see this video. And of course, here it is Coon and Friends, and he's basically telling everybody we have to find this lost cat, because if we find this lost cat, the crime wave that's going on in town will cease to be. Plus, we'll get a $100 reward.
Don't worry, Coon. You can count on me.
And there's Jimmy, who's Fast Pass. Of course, kind of like a Flash-like character, which of course is very funny because he's not very fast at all. Yeah, you know, here you are. You still have your crown. You want to, Cartman is telling you that he doesn't want you to play superheroes with him because you're the new kid. And he's still probably a little butthurt from the first game, where you became king. You're a new kid in town, so you became king. You save everything. So he's gonna make you work for it. He's gonna make you earn your superhero stripes.
All right, look, you can watch us play superheroes as long as you don't get in the way.
Here, of course, in his Coon computer, basically, which is just basically an iPad taped to a cardboard box. You can also you'll learn your basic powers. Of course, it wouldn't be a superhero game without detective mode. Yes, even Stick of Truth has detective mode, and you have to find the device for Cartman. He lets you see objects of interest, which you see here, the Staffordnessy device, and then obviously you just piss Cartman off by messing with stuff in his basement. We also had to cut out the part where you need to, in order to get into Cartman's basement, you need a passcode. In order to get the passcode, you need to go to his room and look through some rather crude drawings from Cartman in order to get the password to then type in a crude phrase that will allow you to even enter the basement. And then, of course, you learn here that in order to play superheroes, you need a superhero origin. And Cartman's going to tell you all about this and whatnot. And you need a backstory, and you need to fill out a character card, which is funny that they went from a fantasy setting to superheroes. And you have to do doing a very D&D thing with the character card. And then this is here you get to choose between a blaster and a brutalist and a speedster. Blaster, obviously self-explanatory. You can shoot projectiles from your hands or your eyes or whatever. Brutalist, very much like the Thing, and the speedster, very much like the Flash. You have these very stylized art designs for your characters, but of course, no matter what you choose, and you see here the new kid transforms into as one of the Cruden friends, known as the Butthole, because you still have these amazing powers of these amazing bowel movement powers. Kind of like the Thing, right? Or as Cartman puts it, also, or a really, really, really ticked off Batman. But you go through your origin story here. You're laying awake one night, knowing you're different somehow from all the other kids, and you're going to go and look at yourself in the mirror when you're going to hear your mom scream from the other room.
A loud noise. You swore you could hear your mother calling for help.
And when you go outside, you're going to, after I mess around a little bit, go outside, more comic book stylized cutscenes, you know, with the panels and everything. You realize, oh my god, I have super strength. Now, what's interesting is that every time you get a new power, you basically add on to the ridiculousness of your origin story. But this is the very first one. Yeah, it's very simple. As a brutalist, you're basically, you punch things. And it took me a couple rounds to get the timing. This was my first battle playing this probably since E3, so it took me a little while to remember, oh yeah, I need to press X button here and do this here. And also, because the last time I was forced to play as a speedster, whereas this time I was allowed to actually choose, which I really enjoyed. So this was actually my very first time playing as the brutalist. I actually really liked it. I liked it a lot more than the speedster, so I'll probably play as this again when it comes time for review time. And again, this game comes out October 17th, so it's right around the corner. Only about 6 weeks away, 5 weeks away, 6 weeks away. But yeah, so here you are. You're still as the new kid, and now you have the Gastro Smash, which is, of course, you let out an amazing fart, and you can gross out your opponents, and when they get grossed out, basically they take damage. It's like being poisoned, right? They take damage per turn, they do their attack, and then they get hurt, and then, in case this guy, he gets knocked out. So 2 down, 1 to go. And of course, lots of times too is that when bad guys get like knocked out, they'll just run off screen. So you're in bad shape, but fortunately, your ultimate ability is ready. And because of that, it's basically you get in the case of the Brutalist, you can basically take out one foe instantly. And man, I'm sorry, I just really enjoyed all the headbutts. Oh man, especially because like I made my guy like again look like me, he's like a little plain looking, little geeky. And then you get to the next part where you walk in on your parents. And again, we can't show you everything because embargoes and also, you know, all that other stuff. But now we go on to a fight a little bit later in the game. We have a couple people in our party. We have Super Craig. We have Human Kite, which of course is Kyle. And we're taking on 6th graders. Now, before you saw this, what triggered this was they had a box of fireworks and they were torturing cats. And I used... I have my own firecrackers to set off their fireworks, which I threw in there, and so that's why you got 2 guys that are starting the fight burning. And then here, in my full Brutalist gear, as my Thing wannabe of the Thing. You see here they again because they're burning, but just like being poisoned, they take damage per turn. They have their own abilities. The 6th graders, they have water balloons filled with urine. They flick boogers, and then sometimes they just punch and kick you. Human Kite here, of course, he's kind of like Cyclops, can shoot laser beams from his eyes. And also you learn a little bit more about the blocking effect. And Super Craig. Super Craig is good at blocking, and right now at this point in the game is one of your heavies, one of your tanks, so can absorb some punishment and really ticks everyone off when he gives them the burn. So here, a burp, 6th grader does a disgusting burp, poisons Craig, or grosses him out, and then here's the booger flick. But fortunately, he's gonna go down anyway because of burning. And what's great too is you don't, if anybody gets knocked out, you don't really need to revive them. You, at least in the demo, you got full health from recover afterwards. Everybody healed fully after each fight. As long as you have one person standing when you win the fight, you're all right. And here I go again with my super bowel movements. So I'm grossed out from the urine, and then I grossed him out from my fart. And this guy just starts wailing on Kyle because he's working on some personal issues. But unfortunately, he's going to get knocked out from the fire as well. So now it's 3-on-2.
Don't just take that lying down, butt boy.
So here, and again, of course, something we didn't talk about, the grid-based system that you're seeing here. You saw in the first couple of fights. Kind of very Mega Man Battle Network-y. This one is the largest grid that I saw in my time with the demo. It was a 6x6 grid. Human Kite can also has a healing ability. He can't heal himself, but he can heal his friends. And then, of course, him being poisoned, he actually goes down over time. But we do have a revive, so we will revive him. So what's really interesting is that this grid system, it's obviously still turn-based. But now there's an order of operations. As you can see in the there's a timeline down in the bottom right-hand corner that you've probably noticed. As we've been going on, as we've been battling, you can kind of see there are even certain powers and certain people who can go multiple times. If you choose the Speedster instead of the Brutalist, there's a power that doubles your speed, so you end up going twice as much. You know, so, but in here, you kind of, pretty straightforward. Everybody kind of rotates. Everybody has a certain speed, and it depicts order of operations. And now that we revived Kyle, Kyle will use his laser eyes to, to knock out one of the 6th graders. We've got one guy left, but we've got our ultimate ready. And now it's the Brutalist's turn, the new kid's turn, and because I love it so much, we are going to headbutt him into oblivion. So this was a lot of fun here, knocking him out. Down he goes. And yeah, we won. We beat the 6th graders. We get some artifacts. We get some cool stuff. We get some currency, which, of course, you can buy things with. And that was really important. And now we go to Freeman's Tacos. And again, we're basically cutting. We can't show you the world. You can fully explore South Park just like the first game, but we can't show you it right now because we were told we can't. So we transport now to Freeman's Tacos, where Morgan Freeman is horribly impersonated, but it is hysterical. Also, it's very funny that basically everybody's constantly on their phones, unless in this case, in this guy, they're eating. And Freeman is where Morgan Freeman will teach you how to craft. And crafting is another important part of the game. Not only crafting items that can heal you, but crafting artifacts that will boost your strength when they're equipped. And you see here, it's unlocked a new menu screen, different things. So you can, and you'll learn basically how to craft what else but burritos. Nothing will make you stronger than a Morgan Freeman burrito, or at least it'll heal you a little bit.
This here shows how much food you need to fill up that tortilla.
So you learn about crafting, you learn how to put everything together in the world, and as your crafting skill increases, you can obviously craft more items, more elaborate items, more powerful items. In this case, again, Morgan Freeman will help teach you about crafting, because this time you will craft a burrito plus enchilada and create the enchilado, because that's never been done before.
It's the first time anyone's ever done that. And what the hell? Have a few more recipes. They might just save your stupid ass.
You kind of see all the stuff that Morgan Freeman has and offers up, and this was cool. I noticed, obviously, you got the cactus there that's shining. I accidentally pulled up the map there. Whoops. Use the fart, knock it off, or I used the firecracker actually, and get the Curly Sanchez. So you got And again, you can customize little bits and pieces of your arsenal, and you can also see here, obviously Morgan Freeman, he is a vendor, so you can get revives. I only had a couple of $1.69 on me there. It's okay if they were selling Freedom. Freedom only costs $1.05, but Freedom was not available there. Different. That's a Team America World Police reference for those of you who might not know. Anyway, so still crafting. I have the parts here. I collected enough random gear over my time playing the game where I could get the kinetic sigil, which is an artifact, and if you equip an artifact, the artifact will permanently increase your HP, your strength, or whatever. But as you see there, artifacts I had a 15. Certain artifacts are worth more, and you have to choose how many you equip at one time because you only have so many slots. So once we left Freeman Tacos, we headed over to Raisins because we had to go find what was going on with the mosquito. Because the mosquito, his kryptonite is Raisin Girls. And here another big part of the game is increasing your follower base on Coonstagram. You mentioned at the beginning of the video. By taking selfies with people, they will follow you to see themselves on Coonstagram. The more Coonstagram followers you have, the happier Cartman is, the more stuff that will unlock, the more missions that will unlock. It's an interesting side mechanic. Again, obsessed with the idea, everything we saw, you're very obsessed with your phone. But yeah, so you come to Raisins because you need to find the mosquito, because the mosquito will help you on your next mission, and will help you in combat for later on. So you come to Raisins because you need to find the mosquito, and you're going to add him to your party. Also, mosquito helps you decide what your kryptonite is. Every hero on your character sheet, again, needs a kryptonite. So when you help the mosquito, he will give you a list of options of things that you will be weak against, that you will then be weak against for the rest of the game. You'll see that in a bit. But as you see here, just coming to and showing off as a superhero, you snap Mosquito out of his reverie of being surrounded by the Raisin Girls and all the attention. And well, Mosquito feels that he was tricked and that he doesn't need to pay. He does not need to pay his bill, which leads to a fight. Defeat the Raisin Girls. And this time you'll get to see not only Mosquito in action, but you'll also get to see Jimmy. In the course of from going Freeman's Tacos and going to getting to Raisins, I ended up unlocking Jimmy. I'm not allowed to tell you how to unlock Jimmy. I'm not allowed to show you how to unlock Jimmy, but I can. I was told by several people I can show you Jimmy, so you're gonna see Jimmy. So yeah, so the Raisin Girls, first thing they do is they charm Mosquito, which isn't good because obviously now suddenly a friend has become an enemy. And see, this is also an interesting thing you can learn from inspection mode. Basically, what the effects are, what your ailments your team is suffering from at any given moment. So charm will only last one turn, but I'm gonna end up beating up Mosquito in a little bit. First, this was my first time using Jimmy, so I got to see his different powers. His powers actually have a lot of range, but as you can see here, you have to be almost like an archer in Fire Emblem. You have to be 2 spaces away in order to, at least for this one, you have to be to use it. So you hit the Raisin Girl with your crutches, and then I'm gonna punch Mosquito in his nose, and that's gonna snap him out of charm. Of course, though, now there's 3 Raisin Girls in a row that are gonna be able to attack. Craig, of course, can take it though because he's kind of our tank right now. And then, of course, a lot of the Raisin Girls are far enough away where you kind of just absorb it, or they'll just kind of get closer to you. And now, of course, we got Super Craig. And what's great about him is that, again, he's the tank. 1 punch, 1 backhand, knocked the girl back. She did damage to the girl behind her and took a little extra damage, knocking her out instantly. Now that we have Mosquito out of charm, we can see some of Mosquito's powers. Mosquito is great because he can basically not only do a lot of damage, but he'll also heal himself, as if he's sucking the blood of his enemies, by doing damage to these enemies. So now that we've really softened up, I believe that's Ferrari. We'll finish her off with Jimmy. Another crutch smash there, and now we'll move on down to, I believe that's Lexus. Lexus at the bottom of the grid, and do a big old punch. So again, moving the grid. Combat very interesting, very integral. Really requires a lot of strategy. Takes a lot of time to kind of not a lot of time, but takes a little bit of time to kind of figure out what characters, where to best position them, and where to kind of think several steps ahead. And here we got Craig got charmed by the blonde raisin.
Not even a citronella candle will save you now.
We get to see another one of... Actually, no, we're going to see the same power again because we're trying to just do damage at this point with Mosquito. And the ultimate is ready, and this is hysterical. This is... So we've seen now a couple of times the new kid's ultimate. Now we get to see Jimmy's ultimate, because the ultimate can be used by any character whenever it's their turn, and this is called Burning Lap. And like the Flash, it's almost like the Flash's ultimate in Injustice, actually. He runs around the world, knocks out one of the Raisins girls, also knocks Super Craig out of charm. And again, talking about the strategy of the grid here, as you see, I'm blocking myself with Mosquito because it's my turn, but I can't go through Mosquito. And I don't have a power that has range to the diagonally, at least right now, with the new kid. So yeah, so this was so if I'm going to pass my turn after trying everything I can to try and figure out if I can't attack her.
Can I get you anything else?
But again, and then Alexis, and again, same thing with Craig. Craig, I can't. Because Mosquito's there is blocking him, I can't get into position, but he's hurt, so at the very least, I'll prevent him from fainting. I will heal him mid-battle, get him a little bit over half health. He'll take a little bit of damage from burning, and then we will finish it all off with Mosquito.
Dude, you are trying way too hard.
So there it is. So again, this is South Park: The Fractured But Whole. Coming up from Ubisoft San Francisco, and South Park Digital Studios, October 17th for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. You see the post-battle credits here. And obviously, like in a lot of games like this, you earn titles and stuff for beating so many enemies, for doing certain things in combat. So if I beat more Raisins girls, I'll get a novice Raisin beater title. But again, and this is Mosquito, he's explaining that every superhero needs a weakness of some kind. Every superhero must be weak against something. And so we're going to end...
Any emotional hang-ups? I mean, come on, there's got to be something.
We're going to end our time here today talking about my weakness, which is old people.
All right, let me see your
as Mosquito puts it, yeah, with all their wrinkles and their wisdom and stuff, kind of worrisome. But it's also interesting because you get to see a lot of enemies that we haven't seen yet in the game, meaning old people are probably going to be an enemy, vampires, crab people, things we haven't seen yet. And as you see here, fills in... my character sheet, my weakness is now old people. So thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to tune in, subscribe to EGM Now here on YouTube, and of course follow us on Twitter at EGM Now. And we hope to have more videos for you soon. Thank you all very much. Take it easy. Good night.